Hello everyone, the next tutorial will show you how to identify, understand, get name and draw structural formulas of hydrocarbons, and this is precisely the objective with this video. With the help of this video you can understand and give the name for some hydrocarbons by the easiest way to get it, and how classify this by the properties and characteristics. Let's start with this tutorial video. First of all, the IUPAC is the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. It is an international scientific organization not affiliated with any government. The IUPAC strives to advance chemistry, in part by setting global standard of names, symbols, and units. In organic chemistry, a hydrocarbon is an organic compound consisting entirely of hydrogen and carbon. The classification of hydrocarbons defined by IUPAC nomenclature of organic chemistry are the follows. Saturated hydrocarbon or alkanes are the simplest of the hydrocarbon classification. They are composed entirely of a single bond and they are saturated with hydrogens. Unsaturated hydrocarbons have one or more double or triple bonds between carbon atoms. Those with double bonds are called alkenes. Those with containing triple bond are called alkynes. Alkanes are hydrocarbons containing one or more carbon rings to which hydrogen atoms are attached. Aromatic hydrocarbons, also known as arenes, are hydrocarbons that have at least one aromatic ring. Hydrocarbons can be gas, for example methane and propane, liquids like oxygen and benzene, wastes or low melting, and polymers.
Step to name alkenes based on UPAC system. 1. Write the alkene name of the longest chain of carbon atoms. 2. Number the carbon atoms starting from the end needed as substituent. 3. Give the location and name of each substituent alphabetical order as a prefix to the name of the main chain. Step 1. Identify the longest carbon chain and name it. Number each carbon atom. Examples. Now do the same. Identify the longest carbon chain and name it. Number each carbon atom. Steps on how to draw structural formulas for alkanes.
1. Identify how many carbon atoms are present in a molecule. 2. Draw the amount of carbon atom in a horizontal line. 3. Complete the bonds that a carbon atom can make with a hydrogen.
Propane. 1. It has 3 carbon atoms. It must complete the bonds that a carbon atom is able to make with hydrogen atoms. Examples. Ethane. It has 2 carbon atoms. It must complete the bonds that a carbon atom is able to make with hydrogen atoms.
What are alkenes? An alkene is a type of hydrocarbon that contains a double carbon bond. Hydrocarbons are molecules which consist solely of hydrogen and carbon atoms. In alkenes, for every carbon atom there are 2 hydrogen atoms, which result in a chemical formula of CnH2n. The suffix at the end of an alkene should always be E and E. Steps to name alkanes. 1. Name the longest carbon chain that contains the double bond. 2. Number the carbon chain from the end nearer to the double bond. 3. Give the location and name of each substituent alphabetical order as a prefix to the alkene or alkane name. First, we need to know that the suffix will be E and E. And the first example, we need to enumerate the bonds from which is nearer to the double bond. Then, because we have 4 bonds, it will be butane, but because this time is alkene, it will be 1 butene. The second, we have 4, so it will be butene. And then we have the double bond on the second, so it will be 2 butene. And in the third example, we numerate and we have 5 bonds. So in this case will be pentene. We have another bond that is on the fourth line. It will be at the start and will be called for methyl. First, you need to know that it is butene. It means that you need to draw 4 carbons. Then you need to numerate them. And the one next to butene mentioned that there is a double bond. The methyl is another bond unit to the carbon, and the number 2 is where the methyl is. Then you only need to add the restant hydrogen atoms. The carbon on the number 2 will stay without a hydrogen atom because it already has the 4 bonds. There is another example. With the word octene, we know that you need to draw 8 carbon atoms. the number 2 next to it mention where is the double bond. Then you need to enumerate the carbon atoms to add the double bond. Then we go with the ethyl. The 5 mention where it's going to be. So you write CH2 and CH3. Then there are 3 methyl on the diagram, and we know that are on the 3rd, 4th, and 6th place. And that's why it is named trimethyl, because there are 3 on the diagram.
The alkynes are the third homogeneous series of organic compounds of hydrogen and carbon, where there is at least one triple bond between atoms in the molecules. Steps to name alkynes. Trace the longest continuous chain of carbons. Parent chain. 2. Locate the side root and circle it. 3. Starting from each end of the parent chain, number from the end to give the first side root, you come to the lowest possible number. 4. If there are 2 side roots, number from the direction which gives the lowest number for the first size grouping correct. To name the compound, list side roots and in alphabetical order. 5. In numbering from each end of the parent chain, gives the same initial number default to the second group of side groups. 6. If there is no difference in number to find the lowest numbered side group, default to the alphabetical names of the side groups. 7. If more than one side group is the same, use D, 3, tetra, etc. Notate that we separate numbers using a comma and numbers and words using a dash. This is our first example of name alkynes. First we identify the carbon chain. After that we circle it and choose the number of the carbon atoms starting from the nearer to the subsequent. This subsequent is called methyl, so we put the carbon number where it's located, that is 2. After that we write the name of the subsequent, that is methyl, and finally pentane, because it has 5 carbon atoms. This is our second example of naming alkanes. First we identify the parent chain. After that we circle it. This carbon chain is called methane, so we identify the subsequent by alphabetical order: bromo, and after chloro. After that we write the name of the subsequent, that is bromo, but we have 2, so we add D bromo, and 2 chloro, so we put again D, and finally we write methane because it has 1 carbon atom. This is our third example of naming alkanes. First we identify the parent chain, after that we circle it. This carbon chain is called methane, so we identify the subsequent by alphabetical order: chloro, and after fluoro. After that we write the name of the subsequent, that is chloro, but we have 3, so we add 3 chloro and 1 fluoro.
And finally, we write methane because it's our parent chain. The steps to draw the expanded structural formula. First, start by drawing a skeleton that contains any number of carbon atoms. 2. Add a node bond so that each bond atom forms a total of any numbers of bonds, and add hydrogen atoms to complete the structure. This is our first example of drawing a structural formula. Here we have propane that has 3 carbon atoms. So we put it like in a line. We add dashes in the free spaces and add the hydrogen atoms. This is our second example of drawing structural formulas. Here we have methane that has 1 carbon atom. So we put it like in the center. We add dashes in the 4 free spaces and add the hydrogen atoms. This is our third example of drawing structural formulas. Here we have butane that has 4 carbon atoms, so we put it like in a line. We add dashes in the free spaces and add the hydrogen atoms.
Aromatics. And aromatics are organic compounds that contain the benzene rings as a part of their structures, and also are 6-sided structures with a single and double mobile bonds. We can find them like this, and even like this way. Now, how to name alkenes? Let's suppose we have a structure like this and we have to name it according to the UPAC rules. First, we have to count the number of carbons we have. And in this case are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 carbons. Then we have to number each carbon in the parent chain from left to right or from right to left depending on the positions of the alkyl groups. In this case we have 3 alkyl groups and we're going to name it from left to right. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we have to name each alkyl group, and in this case the 3 of the alkyl groups are going to be methyl. Now, if the same alkyl group appears more than once as a branch in the parent chain, we use a prefix. Like in this case we have 3-methyl, it's going to be 3-methyl. When different alkyl groups attach to the same structure, place their names in alphabetic order, but in this case we just have 3-methyl. Now we're going to write the complete name using hyphens to separate. So we're going to count 1, 2, and 3 methyls. We have it right there, so we're going to put the number of the carbons in which we have the methyl. That is going to be 2, 2, 4, hyphen, 3-methyl, and we count again the carbons that we know that are 5, and it's going to
What are hydrocarbon derivatives? Hydrocarbon derivatives are compounds made up of carbon atoms and at least one other atom that is not hydrogen.